In the year 9600 BCE, human life was entirely nomadic. Nations, cities, agriculture, and metal tools did not yet exist. Survival meant moving with the seasons and foraging for whatever the land provided. Then, archaeologists unearthed Göbekli Tepe. This site revealed that these same hunter-gatherers had somehow erected rings of massive, geometrically aligned stone monoliths. Looking into the deep excavation pits, you can see the staggering physical scale of the project. These T-shaped pillars stand tall enough to dwarf a human, with the largest specimens weighing up to 20 tons. Constructing a megalithic site on this scale requires complex math and extreme mechanical force. Yet the builders had no wheels, no beasts of burden, and no iron chisels. Gobekli Tepe proves that humans living 12,000 years ago possessed our exact cognitive capacity. They were operating within the strict technological constraints of the Stone Age, but their minds were identical to ours.
The engineering process began at the nearby limestone quarries. Workers had to extract massive blocks directly from the solid bedrock, relying on an excruciatingly slow method of chipping away at the earth using nothing but blunt stone hand tools. This extraction phase required precise craftsmanship. If a worker struck the rock at the wrong angle, the entire limestone block could fracture, instantly destroying months of exhausting labor. This scale shows exactly what the builders were up against once a pillar was finished. A single 20-ton block of limestone is equivalent to the weight of a fully loaded modern commercial truck. To move that mass without wheels, researchers propose a mechanical solution based on friction control. Workers likely leveraged the stones onto heavy wooden sleds, pulling them forward with thick ropes braided from plant fibers. Dragging those sleds across prepared dirt pathways required an enormous expenditure of human horsepower. It took large teams of workers pulling in exact unison just to overcome the natural drag of the earth. Getting a single stone to the hilltop was a masterpiece of synchronized, organized human labor. But that physical exertion created an immediate biological bottleneck. Hauling 20-ton rocks requires an astronomical and constant supply of calories. The solution lies in the soil surrounding the site. Archaeologists have uncovered massive pits filled with the butchered bones of wild gazelles, wild cattle, and boars. While one team of workers managed the physical construction, a completely separate, coordinated team was running an industrial-scale supply chain. They were hunting, foraging, butchering, and cooking non-stop to keep the labor force fed. Over time, the environment around the pillars evolved. The constant need to prepare food meant permanent fires burning through the night, massive communal meals, and nomadic tribes converging from across the region. The logistical necessity of keeping hundreds of laborers fed transformed a work zone into humanity's first major ceremonial and cultural gathering place. The builders of Gobekli Tepe relied on a sophisticated social technology. Their ability to organize hundreds of people toward a singular, multi-year goal functioned as their most powerful tool. This sequence illustrates the catalyst theory. Building this monument forced humanity to invent large-scale social organization. By solving the logistics of moving stone and sharing vast quantities of food, independent groups built a network of interdependence. This framework eventually formed permanent communities. Yet one question remains. What specific belief was powerful enough to convince hundreds of independent nomads to endure this grueling labor for generations? The pillars are covered in a visual language left behind by the builders. They carved highly detailed, three-dimensional animals and figures directly into the stone. From scorpions to this multi-legged creature, the variety of symbols suggests a complex world of myths and rituals. These are deliberate messages etched into the site by a culture we are only beginning to understand. The logistics of Gobekli Tepe show us how humanity learned to organize and eventually build civilization. But those silent, carved guardians hold the secret to humanity's first great religion.